This is Niels from 𝗔𝗯𝗃 course. Welcome to the routing series, and this is part 5. It's about stems. What are stem tracks? I would say it is the recording of a group of tracks like drums, guitars, instruments, vocals, and so on. How you would organize them, it's completely up to you. There are no rules, but you should think what you want to gain from these stems. I for myself have most of the time 5 to 7 stereo stems when I record them after I do the final mix. I print them post group fader, so with all the effects and all the processing what's going on the groups. So let me bring in these 3 stems. They are audio stereo tracks, and as you can see, I already set the input from the bass. I have created here some stem bass for the drums, for the bass, and for the guitars. And in Pro Tools, you can, when you hold the control key, create another output for a track. And here on that, I use the stem 1 drum bass, and for the bass, I use bass, and here the guitar stem bass. So now when I record these 3 guys, I will receive all what's happening on the after the processing on the groups, and how I set the fader. So all of this goes out post fader, and I record that on these stems. For me, this is more or less a backup function for a fast and easy remix. If I want to remix a song, I just need to change the drums. I just want to have the drums a bit louder or something else. I don't need to go into the full mix back. I can use the stems. I even can, let's say I have another stem for vocals, and I just want to change how the vocals sound. I just can pull up the stems of all the others and just use the tracks of the vocals and change what I want to change in the vocals. So this is very fast, very handy to do some other steps if you don't want to go back into the full session, or maybe you don't have the full session anymore, or it is years old and you pull up the old session and you see that you don't have anymore all the used plugins because your workflow changed, you sold some plugins, you have some new ones that you use more of the time, and you can't replicate all the mixing session. And for that reason, you have the stems of all the groups and just remix the parts that you need to remix. Maybe just the vocals or just the guitars, and there you can use all the new plugins or what you are used to use. So this is more or less backup function for easy remix. But another one could be if you want to give your mixing session to a mastering engineer and that he or she should do the mastering. They could do the mastering on the 2-track, on the stereo mix, but you also can send the stems, so they have a bit more control over what's going on. Of course, there is no processing then on the tubas. So you hand over a clean mix to the mastering engineer and let do them more than they, in my view, should do. But sometimes stem mastering can help. If you like your mix, but if you are not really sure if you do all good things on the tubas, sometimes you can do very much, and sometimes a bit more is too much. So you have just a backup of a clean mix, and you can check that if all is fine if you play these stems together and check that against your 2 mix, because this should be or should sound the same. And when you do a remix or on your own, you just can use the same 2-track and all will sound the same, and then you can do the changes. So I would say print these stamps when you are finished with the whole mix. When you do all on the 2-track, when you have done all with some mastering plugins on the last insert, then print the stamps of your groups within the effects. I print all together into the groups, so I have just these 5 stereo stamp tracks and can do the remix if I need to, or have them back up. Also, you can create very fast a vocal up mix, a vocal down mix, so with the vocals a bit louder, with the vocals a bit down, or even a cappella version where you just mute the vocals if you missed that when you did the final mix. Yeah, so very handy to have them, and it just costs you the time to play the song one time more and record all the audio files. So this is about the stamps. I hope that was helpful for you. Maybe you will use that in the next session, that you do the stamp recording at the end. If you have questions, leave me a comment. And for now, I say, I hope I see you in the next episode of the routing series. Thanks and bye-bye.